Sigma males don't act like everyone else. They stand out, not because they try to, but because they're wired differently. When you combine the Sigma mindset with high intelligence, the difference becomes even more noticeable. These men often behave in ways that leave others confused or curious. They don't chase trends, they don't follow the crowd, and they don't feel the need to explain themselves. Their way of living, thinking, and making choices is quiet but powerful. While most people are shaped by outside forces, like family, media, or peer pressure, highly intelligent Sigma males shape themselves. Many people think something's off about them at first. They may seem distant, too quiet, or even arrogant, but that's not what's really going on. These men are simply living on a different level. Their focus is sharper, their goals are deeper, and their behavior reflects that. They're not trying to be different, they just are. Their intelligence pushes them to question everything, rules, systems, even their own thoughts. That habit of constant reflection changes the way they act in the world. They're not moved by drama or trends. They move on logic and purpose. Because of this, they're often misunderstood. People might think they're cold or antisocial, but the truth is they're focused on what matters to them, and that rarely includes the noise of modern society. This video will explore 6 reasons why highly intelligent Sigma males behave differently from others. These reasons explain how their mind works, how they view the world, and why they choose to live the way they do. If you've ever known someone who seemed too quiet, too sharp, or too hard to read, and yet had a kind of calm confidence, you might have been looking at a highly intelligent Sigma male. And if you are one, these reasons might help you understand yourself better. Let's get into the first reason these men move through life in a way most people don't understand. Reason number 1. Deep, analytical thinking. Highly intelligent Sigma males don't take things at face value. When they hear something, they don't just accept it. They analyze it, they break it down, question it, and look for the deeper meaning. This is how their mind naturally works. It's not a choice. They're wired to think this way. This deep level of analysis affects everything they do. From conversations to daily decisions, nothing is automatic. They think things through, often several steps ahead. It's why they sometimes take longer to act or speak. But when they do, their actions are sharp and intentional. Take a simple question like, where should we eat? Most people would name the nearest spot or whatever sounds good. A Sigma male might think about the distance, the noise level, the nutritional value, the cost, and even the mood he's in before deciding. This doesn't mean he's being difficult. It means he's processing every angle. That same thinking applies to bigger life decisions. What career to pursue, who to date, where to live. Sigma males don't rush. They don't follow trends or do what's expected. They gather information, weigh options, and choose based on logic, not emotion. This habit of analyzing everything makes them behave differently. For example, in conversations, they may pause before answering. Some people take this pause as awkward or rude. But for Sigma males, it's just part of thinking before speaking. They want their words to have meaning. They also ask more questions than most people. While others accept things as they are, Sigma males want to know why. Why is this rule in place? Why does this system work this way? Why do people follow certain behaviors without thinking? This kind of questioning can make others feel uncomfortable, but it's not meant to challenge. It's meant to understand. This thinking style also shows up in how they observe others. A Sigma male can often read a room quickly. He picks up on body language, tone, and unspoken messages. He notices small shifts in behavior and uses those cues to understand what's really going on. Because they're always thinking, they often need time alone. It's not about avoiding people, it's about giving their mind the space it needs to work through ideas. Social settings can be overstimulating when you're thinking that deeply all the time. They also tend to avoid small talk. It feels pointless. Sigma males prefer meaningful conversations, discussing ideas, goals, or real-world challenges. If the topic has no depth, they'll stay quiet or change the subject. This deep thinking also makes them more cautious. They don't take risks just to feel excitement. They take risks that are calculated. Every move is measured. Every decision has purpose. That's why Sigma males often make fewer mistakes. They've thought things through. But this also means they carry more mental weight. They can struggle with overthinking or indecision when there's too much to analyze. Still, they'd rather face that challenge than make shallow choices. In group settings, they may seem slow to act, but once they've made up their mind, they move with confidence. They don't need to explain why they do things, because they've already worked it out in their mind. And if others don't get it, that's okay with them. This habit of deep analytical thinking sets them apart. It's not about being smarter than everyone else. It's about thinking differently. And because of that, their behavior often doesn't match what people expect. They're calm under pressure because they've already run the scenario in their head. They're quiet in a meeting because they're sorting through the facts. They walk away from certain opportunities because they've thought long-term. This kind of thinking isn't always easy. It can be mentally tiring. But it's also one of the biggest strengths a Sigma male has. It gives him clarity in chaos, direction in confusion, and focus in a world full of noise. That's why deep analytical thinking is the first reason highly intelligent Sigma males behave so differently. They don't just live, they study life as they go. Reason number 2, preference for solitude. Highly intelligent Sigma males need space to think. They don't hate people, but they don't need to be around them all the time either. They feel most comfortable when they're alone, not because they're lonely, but because that's when they function best. Solitude gives them time to think clearly. It helps them recharge, reflect, and make sense of things. In a world where everyone seems to be shouting, posting, or socializing, Sigma males often step away from the noise. They're not antisocial, they're pro-silence. Being alone doesn't make them feel empty. In fact, it makes them feel more whole. They read, write, learn, and explore ideas in their own space. This helps them grow in ways most people miss. They're also less distracted when they're alone. No small talk, no social pressure. Just them and their goals. This focus helps them become experts in whatever they care about. Whether it's coding, writing, design, or business, they go deep because they have the time and space to do it. Some people get nervous when they're alone. They feel like they're missing out. But Sigma males don't have that fear. They'd rather miss a party than miss a chance to develop themselves. They know that most social events are surface level, and they prefer depth. This love of solitude also helps them control their time. They're not tied to anyone's schedule. They don't have to explain where they're going or what they're doing. That freedom lets them build a life that actually fits them. Even in relationships, they need space. A partner who's too needy or always wants attention won't last long. Sigma males are loyal and caring, but they need alone time to stay balanced. They're not ignoring you, they're just resetting. This behavior confuses people. Some think they're cold or unfriendly, but they're not. They just value their energy. They know that every social interaction costs something, and they spend that energy wisely. Over time, this habit shapes their lifestyle. They live simply. They keep their circles small. They avoid crowds and chaos. Not because they can't handle it, but because they don't want to. They choose peace over noise. And that's the second reason highly intelligent Sigma males behave differently. Solitude isn't their escape. It's their power source. Reason number 3, nonconformity. Highly intelligent Sigma males do not follow the crowd. They are not interested in doing things just because everyone else does. From how they dress, to how they think, to how they live, their choices come from their own values, not from the rules set by society. This nonconformity is not about rebellion. It's not about being difficult. It's about thinking for yourself. Sigma males question every system they're part of. School, work, relationships, culture. They ask, does this make sense for me? And if the answer is no, they go their own way. Let's take school as an example. Many Sigma males perform well in school, but not always in the usual way. They might ignore group projects, skip events, or question the teacher's methods. not out of disrespect, but because they see a better way. They'd rather learn on their own than follow a broken system. The same happens in the workplace. Most people climb the ladder, follow office politics, or try to fit in. Sigma males don't care about titles or status. They care about results. They want work that matters, not busy work that pleases a boss. If the job doesn't match their values, they'll leave, even if it pays well. In their personal lives, the pattern continues. They don't date or marry just because it's expected. They don't buy things to impress others. They don't post for likes or fake smiles for photos. If it's not real, they're not interested. This mindset often leads them to take unusual paths, starting their own business, moving off the grid, working freelance, or traveling alone. While others chase stability and comfort, Sigma males chase freedom and truth. But this comes with challenges. Nonconformity makes them stand out, and not always in a good way. People might call them weird, arrogant, or difficult. But Sigma males don't let that bother them. They know that being misunderstood is part of being original. They also avoid following social norms that seem pointless. They don't celebrate holidays just to fit in. They don't follow fashion trends. They don't join clubs or groups unless they see real value. Everything they do must have purpose. And when someone pressures them to just go along, it pushes them even further away. Sigma males have no interest in pretending to agree. If they believe something is wrong, they'll speak up or walk away. This behavior is built on strong internal values. Sigma males know what matters to them, and they live by it. They don't need rules from others. They make their own code and stick to it. Even in hard situations, this mindset holds firm. If everyone is panicking, the Sigma male stays calm. If everyone is excited about something shallow, the Sigma male stays silent. He's not cold, he's clear. They also don't need outside approval. They don't care if others agree with their path. They're not looking for cheers or likes. They're focused on doing what feels right to them, even if no one else understands it. This nonconformity gives them power. It helps them avoid groupthink, bad habits, and wasted time. It keeps them sharp and honest. While others get lost in trying to fit in, Sigma males keep their eyes on what really matters. Over time, this behavior creates freedom. They don't owe anyone an explanation. They don't get pulled into drama. They build a life that reflects who they are, not what society expects. That's the third reason highly intelligent Sigma males behave differently. They don't conform. They choose their own way, even if it's harder, because for them, being real is more important than being accepted. Reason number 4, strategic independence. Highly intelligent Sigma males are deeply independent, but it's not random. Their independence is planned. It's part of a long-term strategy to live life on their own terms. They don't want to rely on anyone or anything they don't fully trust. That's why their independence looks different from just being alone. It's smart, steady, and built with purpose. They think long-term. Before taking a job, they ask, will this give me freedom or trap me? Before starting a relationship, they ask, will this support my independence or limit it? Every major decision goes through that filter. They build their lives in a way that gives them control. They may save money quietly, learn new skills alone, or create side businesses so they never have to beg for support. Even if it takes years, they're willing to put in the time to reach a point where they answer to no one. This mindset is seen in their daily habits too. They avoid debt. They keep their needs simple. They don't spend just to show off. They focus on things that make them stronger, not things that make them look good. That discipline helps them stay free. Even in relationships, they guard their space. A Sigma male will not jump into a commitment unless he's sure it won't cost him his peace. He may stay single longer than others, not because he doesn't care, but because he's careful. They also value freedom in their schedule. They don't want to be locked into routines that kill their creativity or energy. That's why many of them avoid traditional jobs, prefer remote work, or build businesses that let them work alone. This independence also shows up in how they solve problems. If something breaks, they figure it out. If something goes wrong, they fix it. They don't look around for someone else to handle it. That habit builds confidence and more independence. But it's not just about being alone. It's about not needing constant help. Sigma males can still work with others. They can be great teammates, leaders, or partners. But the key is, they choose to, not because they have to. This mindset can make them seem distant. Some people might say, he never asks for help, or he keeps everything to himself. But Sigma males aren't trying to prove anything. They just believe that true strength means being able to stand on your own. That's also why they don't fall for pressure. If someone tries to control them with money, love, or guilt, it won't work. They've already planned their exit. They've already built backup plans. They're not trapped because they made sure of it. This kind of independence isn't easy. It takes sacrifice. It means missing out on short-term rewards. But Sigma males are fine with that. They're not chasing comfort. They're chasing control over their own lives. And once they have it, they protect it. They won't let anyone take it away. Not a boss, not a partner, not even family. That strong boundary keeps them focused and free. That's the fourth reason Sigma males behave differently. Their independence isn't just personality, it's strategy. They build their life so they don't have to depend on others. And once they've earned that freedom, they make sure it stays. Reason number 5. Emotional self-control. Highly intelligent Sigma males rarely show strong emotions in public. They don't cry easily, they don't get loud when angry, and they don't celebrate in flashy ways. To some, this makes them look cold or disconnected, but what's really happening is deep emotional control. Sigma males feel just as much as anyone else, sometimes even more. But they don't let those feelings run their actions. They pause, they process, and they respond with calm. This kind of control comes from years of learning how to manage emotions without letting them take over. Let's say someone insults them in front of others. Most people would react, get defensive, raise their voice, or try to win the argument. A Sigma male stays calm. He knows getting emotional gives away power. Instead of arguing, he might walk away or respond with a calm, clear point. Either way, he doesn't lose control. This doesn't mean he never gets upset. It means he handles those feelings privately. He may reflect, journal, exercise, or take time alone, but he won't explode or break down in front of others. That control helps him stay sharp in every situation. This also affects how he handles stress. While others panic, the Sigma male stays level-headed. Even if things are falling apart, he keeps his cool. That's because he's learned how to handle pressure internally. He trusts his thinking more than his emotions. In relationships, this emotional control can confuse people. Some partners may say, "You never open up," or "You seem distant." But Sigma males are not trying to hide. They just don't see the point in showing emotions they haven't fully processed yet. They also know that emotions can be used as weapons. They've seen people guilt others, lie, or manipulate through feelings. That's why they keep their emotions private. It's a way to stay protected. But that doesn't mean they don't care. When a Sigma male commits to someone, he's loyal and steady. He shows love through actions, not drama. He listens. He supports, but he doesn't get swept up in emotional highs and lows. This control also helps them make better decisions. They don't rush into things because they're excited or scared. They think clearly, even when emotions are strong. That leads to fewer regrets. Some people think emotional control means pushing feelings away. But Sigma males don't ignore their emotions, they respect them. They just handle them in quiet, personal ways that others don't always see. This habit gives them peace. Life gets loud and messy, but Sigma males stay steady. They don't feed into panic, gossip, or emotional games. They stay focused on what matters. And over time, this emotional self-control earns respect. People may not always understand them, but they recognize the strength it takes to stay calm when others can't. That's the fifth reason highly intelligent Sigma males behave differently. They don't let emotions lead. They feel deeply, but they move wisely. Reason number 6. Selective social engagement. Highly intelligent Sigma males are not antisocial. They just don't enjoy socializing for the sake of it. They're selective, very selective. And that one choice shapes how they live, who they connect with, and how others see them. Most people fill their lives with social activity, parties, meetings, group chats, casual hangouts. They say yes to every invite, make small talk, and try to stay connected. Sigma males don't do that. They say no, often, not because they're rude, but because their energy and time are limited, and they spend both with purpose. They prefer depth over frequency. They'd rather have one strong conversation than 10 light ones. They'd rather spend time with one real friend than be in a crowd of fake smiles. This habit makes them seem distant, but it's actually about connection. Real connection. They also don't need constant validation. They don't post everything they do. They don't need likes, views, or constant feedback. They do things for their own reasons. So they're not driven by the same social needs most people are. In group settings, they stay quiet unless they have something to say. And when they speak clearly. They're not interested in showing off or leading the room. They speak when it matters, and that's it. They also keep their circle small. Most Sigma males have just a few close friends. These are people they trust, respect, and enjoy being around. They don't waste time on shallow connections or fake friendships. If someone doesn't bring peace, honesty, or real value, they're out. This selectiveness also shows in how they network. They're not trying to work the room. They connect with people who share real goals or values. They don't chase approval, they look for understanding. And even when they like someone, Sigma males still need space. They may not text every day or always say yes to plans. That doesn't mean they don't care. It means they need time to recharge. Social energy is limited and they guard it carefully. This approach can confuse others. People might say, "He never joins us," or "He always stays home." But Sigma males aren't hiding. They're just protecting their peace. They know that not all social time is good time. When they do engage, it's real. It's focused. They ask questions, listen well, and speak with intention. That's why people often remember what they say. They don't waste words. Over time, this behavior makes their relationships stronger. Because they don't give their attention to just anyone, the people who do get close know they're valued. It's rare, and that's the point. This selectiveness also helps them avoid drama. They don't hang around people who gossip, lie, or bring problems. They'd rather be alone than deal with emotional chaos. That choice keeps their minds clear and their goals on track. Even in family life, this pattern shows. Sigma males might miss a few events or skip small talk, but when they do show up, they're present. They don't fake anything. If they're there, they mean it. And in love, the same rule applies. They don't date for fun or attention. They date when they see real potential. And if that potential fades, they don't hang on out of fear. They let go and move forward. All of this comes from the same mindset. Be real or be gone. That's how they live. That's how they socialize. That's the sixth reason highly intelligent Sigma males behave differently. They don't follow the crowd. They don't need the noise. They build real connections and cut out the rest. Sigma males don't fit in with the crowd, and they never try to. Their behavior often seems strange to others, quiet, distant, unusual. But once you understand what drives them, it starts to make sense. This video broke down 6 reasons why highly intelligent Sigma males behave so differently. Their minds work deeply. They value peace over popularity. They stay in control of their time, their emotions, and their life. And most of all, they don't move unless it's with purpose. They aren't trying to be special. They're just staying true to themselves in a world that rewards fake energy and loud noise. They don't care for trends or approval. They care for truth, growth, and freedom. Every choice they make reflects that. From who they talk to what they work on, to where they spend their time. Nothing is random. Nothing is forced. Everything is chosen with care. This behavior may make others uncomfortable, but for Sigma males, comfort is not the goal. Clarity is. And living clearly means knowing who you are, what you want, and what you refuse to accept. If you're a Sigma male, or if you recognize these traits in yourself, keep going. You don't need to explain your ways to anyone. You don't need to change to fit in. What you need is to stay aligned with the truth you've already found. And if you know a Sigma male, respect the space he needs. Listen when he speaks. Don't take his silence as distance. Most of the time it just means he's thinking deeper than most people ever will. That's what makes Sigma males different. And that's what makes their path so